everybody. We got too much to talk about today. So, good afternoon. Hey, Loretta. Hi, Dragonflies, Tamara. I don't know who else is. RCX is up in here. Lurkers, come on in. Georgie. Hello, George. RCX. Hello. So, I want to really talk about this in depth. We all pray and hope again that we're at home when all the ruckus starts, right? But I want to bring up something, and I want you all to really think about it. People don't realize how far back the history goes about the United States and the 10 deadliest riots in the U.S. history. And I want to talk about what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, and why we need to do it. Hey, KY, Patriots Prepper, how's it going? Scruffy, Josh, Caitlin, Scruffy Scrubs is up in the house. Mama Freddie, Sparkle On. Hello, everybody. So I want to talk about a couple things. We have a old riot that happened in Manhattan, July 13th to the 16th in 1863. It was called the Draft Riot. Then let's come forward a little bit. We have one that happened in Manhattan, July 12th. I want you to think about the similarities of these riots. Tulsa, June 1st, 1921, May 31st to June 1st. Los Angeles, the riots of 1992, which I lived through, that I'm going to talk a little bit in depth about, April 29th to May 4th. 1866, Memphis, May 1st to the 3rd. Detroit, July 23rd to the 27th in 1967. And New Orleans, July 30th, 1866. What do all those riots have in common? They happen, does anybody know? They happen in the summer when it was hot, when people get irritated and agitated real easily. What was the most violent riot in U.S. history? Well, it was the New York City's poor, white, and immigrant working class. They protested the Conscription Act of 1863. They killed over 120 people, and they did target African American people during the New York City draft riots. It was the bloodiest race riots in the United States. What was the most expensive riot in the United States? Well, I lived through it. It was a winner. It was a winner. It definitely was the winner. 1992 Los Angeles riots cost LA over $1.42 billion, which, folks, in 2021, that was compared to $2.7 billion today. So think about it, as we go through this. But I want to talk about, the thing is, folks, is we don't really think about, we all want to be home. We all want to be home. I want to be home. If something really bad breaks out, I want to be home. More than likely, we will probably not be home. And that's why I'm bringing this topic up today. I want to touch a little bit about an apocalyptic blackout that happened several years ago. I think it was 2019. 2019 it happened in Venezuela. And we all know how Venezuela is now. But I want you to shut your eyes for a minute, and I want you to listen to me, and I want you to picture this and think about it. Hospital patients in Venezuela found out early in 2019, just during 5 days, a 5-day nationwide blackout. The power cut off. And it did more than just turn off the lights, folks. The doctors couldn't do anything. They had patients on their tables. They had patients coming in. The traffic lights went down. The gas pumps went down. The grocery stores locked their doors. And basically, they crumbled in 5 days. There was only a couple beams of torches and the glow from a mobile phone in the hospital that the hospital staff had. They watched helplessly as their patients died in front of them. The elderly woman that had a blood clot in her lungs, which is a common but life-threatening problem, could be treated with the right drugs and the equipment, but it wasn't there. Everything the doctors needed to save that woman, including a ventilator, was closed. It was done. In the intensive care unit several floors below, no power in the 9th-floor hospital in Maracay. They had no way to reach it. Without electricity, the lifts did not work. It was a situation being played out in hospitals dotted all over in Venezuela in March of 2019. A 5-day power outage accompanied growing the political and economic crisis facing the South American country. Unprepared for the loss of blackout, backup generated in some hospitals, they failed, We've talked about this before. The generators in the grocery stores to keep the power going, to keep the refrigerators cold, the freezers cold, and the cash registers running. They're not set up for the cash registers. They're only set up for the freezers temporarily for a very short amount of time. By the end of the 5 days, over 26 people had died in the country's hospitals alone as a result of the power outage. According to figures from the Doctors for Health, a group of concerned medics, they had been monitoring the growing health crisis in Venezuela. Among those who died were kidney failure patients who could not get dialysis, gunshot victims on whom surgeons could not operate in the near darkness. And alongside the deaths were stories of pregnant women giving birth in dark hospital wards, doctors treating patients, and surgeons performing operations using their mobile phones as torches, and babies in failing incubators. These babies need special care, and without electricity for the incubators, staff in those units had to find blankets to try to keep the babies warm, said Julio Castro from the School of Medicine at the Central University of Venezuela. He had been compiling the data of Doctors for Health, describing some of the stories that hospital staff had told him about the power outages. Do you think that the United States is any different, folks? Do you think that the United States would be able to stand up to a power outage? You know, we have to really think about this in a down to earth manner. And what can we do if this situation does happen? Because we got to be able to survive through an apocalyptic, terrible situation, and we need to be able to do it and be ready for it. Most of us will not be at home when one of these terrible catastrophic events happen. As many people are aware of, so many times, there's a hurricane alert or there's a tornado warning and people don't even pay attention. See, we've gotten kind of numb, I think, in my personal opinion. We've gotten kind of numb to, well, could it really happen? Oh, it's not going to happen here. We have hurricanes all the time. And this doesn't just apply to doomsday, it applies to everything that we go through. We could have a major, major weather situation. We could have doomsday because we know that a lot of countries right now are really against the United States. So what do we do to come through it? That's the big question. We can talk about problems all day, but if we don't solve the problems and run the scenarios, how do we do anything about them? So I want to talk about 15 survival items to really keep in your car at all times, because when that apocalyptic day comes, or the collapse, or the power outage, or the EMP, or war, whatever it may be, you're going to have to get home. Hey Gladys, nice to see you. If somebody drop OTWP report, I'd really appreciative of that. Surviving behind the liberal lines, how you doing? It's the little things that we do to do the legwork that's really going to make a difference in the long run. And if we don't take the steps, we could be the one. I think that a lot of times as Americans, like, we just overlook stuff. We're like, oh, it's not going to happen here. Everything's fine. We're hunky dory. I got coffee. I got food. I got some fire. Maybe I got some water, and I'm good to go. But what if you're caught out in the masses? What if you're caught out during a riot? I tell you what, when I lived in Los Angeles during the 1992 riots, the Rodney King riots, it really made me wake up, and I really seen how people react. And the reaction of people is very, very scary. People got on guard within like this quick. I mean, it was so quick. As soon as the beating happened downtown LA, it spread across LA County. And LA County is huge, folks. Huge, huge, huge. And I lived right almost at the San Bernardino County line and the Los Angeles County line. So we seen it spread out there to us very, very quick. And yeah, and that's a good point. And I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about that. But I want to say that it happened so quickly. And I seen people so edgy. And I had a big failure at that time. I was in my 20s. And I had a big failure when it came to prepping. I had maybe an eighth of a tank of gas. Dragonflies yells at me all the time. But I've really been on a mission to make sure that that gas tank is full. because at least one full gas tank could get you out of Dodge if you just needed to maneuver and get away from harm's way. Or if you're caught out on the road and you have an eighth of a tank of gas and all hell breaks loose, then what? Where are you going to be? You're going to be the one that's standing there in a line as people are looting, shooting, and murdering people. And that's just the downright truth of it. People will be fighting over what they can get, what they can't get, and it will become a very chaotic event. During the LA riots, I'll never forget that you were in the same city they had the trial. Oh, wow, Mama. Wow, Mama Freddie. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it was something that I'll never forget. I'll never forget it in my life as I watched LA County start on fire, the fighting, the looting, people going absolutely ballistic, and it got crazier and crazier as the day went by. That was the year I left Los Angeles. Actually, that was the year I left. But we overlook so much, and the automobile is like really integrated into our lifestyle. There's probably not many people right now in the chat that could say, "No, I don't. I haven't driven for a week or 2 weeks, or I haven't went somewhere outside of my home for a week to 2 weeks." Right? That you just stayed in bunkered in. And the thing is I think that when a major event happens, and I want to stress this, you will be caught out in the masses. And when you're caught out in the masses, one of the best assets you can have is your vehicle. One, for driving and escape. And two, what do you have in your vehicle? And that's why we keep our car really ready for survival. I'll be honest with you folks. We have pew pews in the car. We also have fixed blades in our car, pepper spray in our car. We carry things on our keychain to protect us as well. And, when you start thinking about that, like, how is your car prepared? Yes, I have duct tape. I have water. There's so many things that we have, and we're going to get into the 15 things that I think are really, really important. And I have personally had my car prepped probably for 20 years or more, especially when me and Dragonflies were living in an RV and that was our home, our mobile home. We kept that RV. We had certain things in certain places so that we could grab it very quickly because we did have some situations on the road where people tried to actually come in the RV at 1, 2 in the morning. We had some really creepy, weird people do some weird stuff to us while we were on the road. But if you think about it, the chances are really, really high that when an SHTF scenario occurs, you're not going to be at home. You might be at your son's daughter's basketball game or their dance recital, or maybe at your parents visiting. You might be stuck on the highway. You'll be at work, maybe at school, or maybe another 120 different activities that you could think about that occupy your time when you're not on the tube, right? I think that it's really important is that you want to make sure that your car won't be far away and that you'll be able to utilize it because that makes your car an ideal place to keep an assortment of emergency equipment for those times when you need them. And some people might think that we're over the top, but I'm no longer OTWP, just so y'all know. I am now Doomsday Prepper, and my mentality is switching to Doomsday because I really believe that Doomsday is going to be here. And when it is, I don't want to be stuck in the masses with the bullshit. So what should you carry? What should we really carry? The real smart starting point, right, is to have a get home bag. Hit a 1 in the chat right now. Don't lie and don't bullshit because you're only bullshitting yourself. Hit a 1 in the chat right now if you have a get home bag in your vehicle ready to roll. Hit a 1. And be honest. There's 30 of us in the chat. There's some lurkers. But be honest with yourself because you will only hurt you if you don't have it. Now, this may include, and it may come to the point, right, folks? Hey, Red Dog. It may come to the point that you're out in your vehicle, the shit breaks loose, your car runs out of gas. We're talking doomsday shit right here. We're talking reality, things that can really happen. Your car runs out of gas, that damn old car breaks down when you need it the most, and you're stuck. You're freaking stuck. But are you? If you have your get home bag and you really have it with you, you should be able to at least know you have a 2 to 3 days supply of what you need. I would definitely say to have a fixed blade. some type of good walking shoes, some good type of good socks, because and extra socks for sure, because your feet are gonna be, whew, you're gonna need them. You're gonna need to be in decent shape, and so I think that one thing that happens is when then the roads could close up. Let's just take the scenario. We're talking doomsday scenario here. The roads close up. National Guard, maybe a foreign military, is closing and blocking those roads. Your ass is going to have to get out in the bush. Your ass is going to have to get out and walk. Your ass and my ass is going to have to get down and dirty. And we're going to have to be ready. So I hope that you're working not only in your spiritual and your mental prepping and your gear, but health wise. Be it if you're walking a half a mile, shoot for a mile. Step up your step. Park a little further away from the store door. Do things that can improve your health to go in for the longevity of the long ass haul. That's really important. Yeah, yeah, we started bringing ours in, but we bring them in and out, and we have a little stash in the car. But speaking of bridges, you work on the other side of the river from where you live. And this happened to my brother. He was working on one side of the river. The river flooded. The dikes broke. He was stuck over there. It was a 2.5 hour trip for him to get home. And guess what? He didn't have basic shit. He didn't have basic things with him to survive 24 or 48 hours, such as food, water, tools, any of that. And think about it, folks. Getting stuck in the winter, in the blizzard, is probably the worst case scenario that we could all have, because you have more chances of frostbite, hypothermia, whatever may set in, and you may get deathly sick. So we really got to be on point this winter. Keeping an inner tube in the trunk of your car may seem a bit extreme, but it could be really handy. Why would you have an inner tube? Why would anybody have a flotation device in their car? This is something that I've been looking at, kind of different and off the wall things. Why would anybody think that you would have an inner tube or a flotation device in your car? Because you're stuck at a river. The bridge is closed. You see ahead of you, you have a CB radio or a two-way radio, and they're telling you that there is foreign military or someone blocking the road, and you're going to have to take the water. I'm a really great swimmer. I'm a great swimmer. I taught people in the Navy, men and women, how to swim. But I'll tell you what, you get out in a rushing river, you're going to learn a hard lesson real quick, right? But an inner tube, and it's small, it's lightweight, and you can even carry a hand inflator with it to inflate it, because where you're going to inflate it at, right? Or you carry a waist. They make a life jacket that's a waist life jacket that you wear like a ski belt. You could carry that, right? A ski belt type life jacket. That's still light, easy to carry. You can attach it to your get home bag if you have to take the water. Maybe you're not a strong swimmer at all. Maybe you'll really be screwed, right? So these are things that to think about in the worst case scenario. Yeah, yeah, you would be. I mean, most people would be, Raven. One thing I want to say about the rivers, if you would have to get in a river, and one is hypothermia, which I talked about the other day on a live stream. But the thing I'd like to talk about is if you have to take that river for 5 to 10 minutes to get across and get out, is always remember, no matter how the river is shifting you around, your goal the whole time in the water is to keep your feet in front of you. I jumped into a river when I went river rafting, and that water spun me around so quick. And I had a life vest on, but it literally sucked my boots off of my feet. One of them I lost, right? But the other thing was, is the instructor, because I was going through a river rafting instruction thing in Colorado, like how to prepare if something bad happened, is to get your feet in front of you, because you don't want your head to be taking the impact. It'd be better to have a broken leg or a broken arm than a busted open skull. So it's something really to think about, is to shift your body if you ever fall in a raging river. That's really, really important. Really important. So you want to kind of make a combo bag of a get home bag and an EDC bag. So the bag has a lot of useful things in it, such as hygiene items, paper clips, extra batteries for your flashlight. I no longer really like the flashlights that have batteries because I think when things happen, we're not going to be able to get flashlights. Then what, right? Then we're going to be kind of screwed. We're going to have all these flashlights, and we're going to be like, well, I don't have no batteries. Or if it's a long term uh, fall, like I don't know who that was. I think it was KY or somebody that brought it up. Is that if it's a long term haul, those batteries are going to be gone, and you're not going to be able to get them, right? Solar and hand cranked is the best. Well, so then you definitely, Gladys, would want to have some type of life preserver. Because if your life depended on it or your children's life depended on it, you're going to want a way to get across that river. And I don't know how many of you in the chat, but I've lived near rivers my whole life. They're very dangerous, just like the ocean. The ocean, you never turn your back on the ocean. The ocean can just swipe you right off your feet and boom. You know, when I was in Hawaii, I was on Oahu, went to the beach, and this gal, elderly lady, had her back to the ocean, and I was sitting there enjoying the water. And I take that back. It wasn't that situation. It wasn't on Oahu that time. It was on Kauai. It was on Poipu Beach on the South Shore. So she has her back to the water, right? And all of a sudden, these waves were huge anyway. I mean, Hawaii has huge waves. This wave came in and broke right on top of her, flipped her around. She was like a rag doll, just in the water. And I was like, holy shit, you know. Me and another guy jumped up and ran out to her. Neither one of us had life preservers on, but we grabbed her and got her on her feet. At the same freaking time, her elderly husband was coming out there and he just got slammed right to the beach. You know, it's really important around water never ever to put your back toward it for sure. I mean, that's one of my things I'm going to tell you right now. But I want to tell you probably one of the most used things that you could use in your vehicle that you should have there anyway is an umbrella. You know, you can use an umbrella for a lot of stuff. You can also use an umbrella if you had to tear it apart and use it as a rain jacket if you don't have a rain jacket with you. Dragonflies, will you please turn this down? Dragonflies. You could you know, so you could use that umbrella for a lot of things. You could also use that umbrella for self-defense. You could also use that umbrella, the liner of the umbrella as a rain catch. So if you are out and you have to tromps through whatever, you could use that umbrella for a lot of things. I think an umbrella comes in really handy. It's kind of one of those unusual things that we don't talk about on prepping channels, but I think it's really important. We have two umbrellas in the car right now. The other thing is your walking shoes. Um, you know, some people will save money, right, to just get a pair of shoes and have them. But I have a torn meniscus. I have a bad knee. My left leg is just jacked, y'all. Okay, so I want to be honest with you. Is that a good pair of walking shoes, something really comfortable, really light, and that you can wear for an extended periods, right? That you will be able to maneuver around in, that you'll be able to actually truly hike in, that you'll be able to actually truly maneuver, and that's the most important thing. And your clothes and your socks. Those are a couple other really, you know, most of us have talked about those before. I'm trying to bring up some unusual stuff. Um, Most people and a lot of people in the prepping community carry every day, but they don't leave it in their car, which, you know, unless you count the fighting knife that is behind my seat and one that's in the door, my pew pew does not stay in the car because when I lived in Texas, there was like 32 vehicles in one night that got broke into. So you definitely want to be aware and alert of not leaving that kind of stuff. Yeah. Oh, definitely. That's for sure. You want to make sure that your bag is, and then Raven said it, keep your bag light. Because if you're not out walking with your bag and if you're not really truly working with your bag and you pack this big monstrous bag, how far are you going to carry it? Right? How far are you going to carry that bag? And are you going to be able to maintain that bag? Or are you going to have to start dropping off shit and leave a trail of where you're at and who's following you? Uh, Let me see yours, Dragonflies. Dragonflies has her bag right here. Hers is a mini bag. Hers is a mini get home bag. But it's getting heavier by the day. Hold on, I'm going to drop this down so y'all can see it. Hold on a minute. I think mine is right there underneath the table. So Dragonflies is a smaller bag. I gave her this bag. I graduated to a bigger bag. This was the first one that I bought. But if you notice, Dragonflies has it pretty loaded up, even with a water canister. And she also has her fixed blade right there. She also, ladies, anybody, guys, ladies, whoever, this is one of the best things that you can have, a Kupiton as a self-defense. Easy, light, you can carry it on your keys. And this is a really, really good thing. Excuse me? Yeah, this is her water bottle holder, but look how light. But your bag is still really light. I'm proud of you, Dragonflies. She also has her expandable water bag right here on the back. So, you utilize everything on your bag. You utilize the straps, the brand, this is another bag that she has. She has her little dragonflies, but her dragonflies is made out of 550 paracord. Remember, for every inch of paracord that you have 1 foot of paracord. So if this is probably 4 to 6 inches, so she has 8 foot of paracord right here. And this is the littlest, lightest thing ever, right? Uh, No, no, I ain't gonna tear apart your stuff. I mean, I'm proud of you. Your bag looks fabulous. I haven't seen her bag for a while, but I'm gonna dig into here. Look, this is gonna be fun. I've never got in Dragonfly's bag, y'all, so I don't know. It might be dangerous. I might be like, what the hell is this? Okay, right on the top, bags of magnesium. So proud. I'm so proud. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna be really proud of her here, y'all. So she's got bags of magnesium. She's got a ferro rod. And this is the other thing about your bags that I want to talk about. It's really important. When I did that bushcrafting, I went out in the forest. I learned that you want to place stuff in your bag that you'll use more often, right? You don't want to just get it and not use it. And you also want to set up your bag strategically so that you can actually use your dang stuff. You're going to need fire more often than you're going to need something else, even in a get home situation. So you're going to want that magnesium and the ferro rod, lighter, matches, whatever, up toward the top of your bag, right? Does that make sense? Do y'all follow me? But I'm really proud of her. Look at what else she's got. Look at that. Y'all know what this is, right? This is probably one of the best tools you can have in your vehicle, in your car, on your body, whatever, especially in SHTF. Hey, Brandy, is this right here. Because what this will do is this one comes with a Phillips and a flathead screwdriver, and it comes with 4 different ways to turn on commercial water. Silcock key. You see that, folks? This is anybody that doesn't have one, you should get one right away. This could be a lifesaver. Also, you take a Silcock key, pull that off, take it like this. What have I just created? Do y'all see that? What have I created? I've created something that is self-defense. Each one of these is a little longer, so you find the one that fits your knuckle the best, that sticks out anywhere from a quarter to a half inch to protect yourself. A nice slug to the throat with this, and a double, they're gonna feel it. Just slug them right in the throat. Okay, I'm just telling you, slug them right in the throat. This is the best spot to smack them at, especially if you're in danger for your life. Really, really great thing right there. Okay, these are really handy. Look, I'm digging through Dragonfly's bag. I don't know what else I'm gonna find. Okay, another cool little tool. Okay, I'm so proud right now. I'm really proud of her. She's got a whistle right here, folks. Right? She's got a whistle, or is that That's a ferro rod. No, it's a ferro rod. Excuse me. I thought it was a whistle. That's a ferro rod. And then she also has a multi-tool. You can get these, ladies and gentlemen, and you will never know how wonderful these are until you frickin' need it. How many of you have used one of these multi-tools and you were like, shit, I can't find a screwdriver. Shit, I can't find a wrench. But you knew where the multi-tool was and it was in your car. I love these things. I love these. I don't know how many I have. I have several. So I'm really proud right now of Dragonflies. Oh, and look at that. My girl's on point. Look at that. Handy dandy can opener. You did really well. This is a P58. They make the P36s. One of them's smaller, one of them's larger. I also want to tell you about this a little bit. I know a gal in Los Angeles, and she used one of these, not for a can opener. She placed it between her fingers, just like that, and did this across somebody and hurt him very badly. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you right now. So we got a Okay, that's great for one pocket, but the thing is that without doing the legwork, and how many of you have ferro rods? Hit a one if you got a ferro rod. Hit it one if you know and you've used the ferro rod. That's what I should be asking you, because if you got a ferro rod and you haven't practiced with it, you're probably gonna have a difficult time. It does take a little bit of practice, but the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. How many of you have made the Vaseline tinfoil pouches that I taught on my demo about 6 months ago? That's a great little trick. That tin piece of tinfoil with a cotton ball and just a tiny, tiny piece of cotton in there. I think lighters are really great, and even your broken lighter, Raven. Like, say you have a lighter, and the lighter doesn't work anymore. Y'all, when you flick it, if you take off the metal surrounding piece of your lighter and you flick it, you're going to get shavings, and you can spin that wheel. You're going to get shavings of magnesium. Magnesium starts fire. So, think about that as well. Um, I would say that you really want to be aware also of having food and extra water. Those are basics that we should have in our get home bag for sure, right? And the thing about food is think about lightweight, think about energy. I love the protein bars, and here's one of them. I don't know where the other one's at. So we have several of these little solar radios. This one, I'm not that impressed with this one. I'll tell you the truth. I'm more impressed with the new one we bought. But when it comes, okay, let me not be a squirrel. Let me go back to the food a minute. Yes, yes. The demo is on the channel. It's really cool. It's really easy. Dragonflies, will you go out to my desk so I can show them get the Prince Albert can? So I want to say something about food though. When you're utilizing a get home bag just to get home, right, folks? You're gonna want energy bars. You're gonna want light, small things to eat, but you're also going to want some comfort food, be it if it's a piece of bubble gum, lifesavers, whatever floats your boat, right? You want to have some comfort foods. I hate seeing, hate's a strong word. I dislike seeing people say that, well, I bought this, and this because it was on sale. Well, have you ever ate that? No, I haven't ate it. Why are you buying it? It probably tastes like crap. You probably don't like it. And the same thing with MREs is you want to taste them and try them out instead of buying cases at a time, right? Which is really, really important. Yeah, Dryer Lint, I did the demo on that Dryer Lint too. Surviving Behind Liberal Lines, I did do the Dryer Lint one too. I want to talk about this a minute before she brings me about the Vaseline and the foil. So this one is super tiny. I mean, y'all can see according to my hand, look how tiny it is. It's okay, but the new one we got is a lot better. This one is cheap though. I mean, most of us should be able to afford $15, $20. And this is nice because it has an AM/FM radio. It does have the flashlight. It has an alarm. Um, it has solar, or it has the hand crank. So it is nice. The bad thing about this one is you really got to get cranking to get anything going. That's um, yeah, there you go. Thank you. She's a wildflower. Great ideas. So this is how I do them. Surviving behind liberal lines. You must be in California. So my granddad left me a lot of these Prince Albert cans. People say I should sell them, but I like them. So I keep them. I put screws and nuts and stuff like that in them. But I also made a couple of these full of the aluminum foil, and you can see the whole thing is full. They don't take long to make. So you just take a piece of aluminum foil. This is a great recycle, repurpose thing too. Is take your aluminum foil that you use to barbecue with or that you did whatever with, save it, use it to make these instead of throwing it away and it going to the dump, right? I believe in recycling and repurposing. So all you do is take your Vaseline and put it and see if you notice not only is there a cotton ball, but there's dryer lint in there. And I just ran a little bit of Vaseline across it. Then you just roll it up in a ball, square in your edges, right? And when you go to use it, you don't need to open the whole thing and do all that. You just poke a hole in the top and just barely pull some out, light it on fire, use it, put it out, and fold it back up. That way, one of these in your bag could be sufficient for like a week. You could have fire after fire after fire very easily. So, this is something that everybody should have. You should have one of these in everybody's get home bag, if not two or three of them. I mean, cheap, easy to make. But I like them. I have them all over the place, and I use them. I use them to start fires, and I just keep them in a can to protect them a little bit. And I have them in my desk. I have them all over the place. So that's really important. So hold on. I want to add water. How many of you have a first aid kit and water in your vehicle? Please hit a one, folks. Please hit a one. And the other thing that all of us should have is a pry bar or a tire iron in our vehicle. That could come in so handy, right? It could come in so handy for so many different things. Um, yes, we have some of those as well. Now, Dragonflies wants me to show you her next pocket. Let's go. We're getting in Dragonfly's second pocket. She's got a long lighter. She's got, oh, I'm so proud again. So she's got a water, this is a dry pack bag, and it's full of her hygiene items. Now, this is a miracle for Dragonflies, okay, to have only this amount of hygiene products. But she covered all bases, folks. She's got shampoo, she's got soap, I don't see toothpaste, and I don't see her toothbrush, but she has a razor in here. She has Q-tips. Oh, she even has TP. Y'all see that? You can get some of that RV toilet paper and put in there. But the nice thing about this is if you needed to protect something, these dry packs are really awesome. I used these before when I went snorkeling, and I wanted to really test them to see how they were in some rough ocean water. They do work, but the thing is that it's up to us to learn how to use them right, because there is a trick to it. When you pull them open, you see that it comes apart like that. You want to make sure that your top bag is sealed. The other thing on some of them is you can roll them down. If you can roll it down and have an extra layer, then I would roll it down and have one extra layer to keep water from going into it. Water and only bandages, but still, I would suggest that you get a little bit more surviving behind liberal lines. She also has, um, we have these folks, these life straws. And the reason we have life straws in our get home bags is because they're so light. But I want to tell you this about life straws. They only last so long. In an extended period, you're not going to be able to keep a hold of this and keep using it, because if you do, you're going to get a gut ache like you won't believe, because the crap that builds up in here is nasty. And every time you open that to suck on it while this is immersed in the water, you're going to end up getting sick. So, this is something to think about. There is mini Sawyers. I have an Alexa Pure water bottle that I can just empty out and refill, and it goes through a top canister down and cleans it. But, and worst case scenario, boil the water if you need to. If you can't carry, water's heavy, so you can't carry a lot. Now, what has Dragonfly's got here? Oh, she's really prepared in this little case. And this is one thing that we do. My bag and her bag, we have little bags inside the bag for a few reasons, because you might need that little bag for something. So she's got a spoon, fork, knife, can opener there. She's got a couple writing pins. She's got some more paracord, a hair tie. She's got a wine bottle opener, razor blades. She's got Dramamine, and she's got fingernail clippers. She's got a little tiny flashlight and some batteries. She's got a lot of stuff in there. I'm really proud. Like, she really did good on her bag. I haven't looked in her bag since I think we first put it together and she redid it. She also has some emergency food, which she carried oysters and sardines. The nice thing about these two that I want to say is that dehydrated water. That I heard that stuff is pretty expensive though, Gladys. So one thing I want to say about this, right, with these cans, this also makes a great little makeshift stove. If you have two cans of this, right, and you catch a bird or whatever it may be, you can actually use these to cook. You could cook over an open fire with them. You could cook another meal with them, whatever, whatever. But they make a great little makeshift stove, and it's not that hard to do it. And I'm not sure why she has that straw in there. She has some kind of straw in here. I'm really proud, Dragonfly. She really did good with her new bag. She did really good. She has done really good. Yeah, and you got an empty pocket, which I'm shocked she's got an empty pocket. This was fun because I never went through her bag. Like we put these bags together over a year ago, and she's adjusted it. But if you notice here, Dragonfly's got dental floss, gloves. She's got some campfire matches. She's over the top with fire like I am. Some more matches, a lighter. I'm pulling this out of another pocket, y'all. She's got a bigger um, multi-tool. So she's got some doubles, which it's up to each preference. But she's also got now fire. I I totally agree with Dragonflies. You can't have enough fire in a get home bag. That fire could save your ass. Like really, it could save your ass. That's like I'm big with fire. Y'all know that. Y'all see me hold the fireball and all that good stuff. But fire really could save your butts when it boils down to it. I'm really proud, Dragonflies. You're covered pretty good on most of your angles here. I don't see enough food, but at least you have water purification. We need to probably get some more tabs. Those are important as well. But I want y'all to really think about what you can do. What did Red Dog give out some free advice? Oh shoot, I missed it. What's the advice, Red Dog? What's the advice? Survival. Get them in your bobs and different. Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. You definitely want to be on point about different stuff. So we got to the pry bar. Um, a collapsible shovel would be a godsend in the situation. Sand, mud, snow. It's better than leaving your car, right? And have some basic tools in your car, a basic set of tools, especially going into winter. That would be really important. And your vehicle liquids. How many of you have a headlamp? I like my headlamps. Um, it's one of those things that really helps you if you get stuck somewhere because then it's like boom right there, the lights in front of you. And let's not forget a very important thing, unless you want to use leaves or pine needles, is to have some RV toilet paper. you know, we might laugh about it, but I wanted to say that it's really, really important that we get on point. Um, there's so many things that we need to do, that we need to be concerned about, and that we really need to think about that we probably will not be home when all shiznick breaks loose. So I hope that you all take something from this. I hope that you have an umbrella or you have something strange like an inner tube in your car. That you have some of those things that could actually get you out of a really bad spot. I think that as we watch the United States fall, that we're going to see more and more of this stuff happen. And the most important thing we can do is have the tools and the skills at our availability so that we don't end up in some of these riots that I talked about. And do I think that there's going to be major riots? Yeah. Have we had major riots in the past? Yes. I talked about the top 10 at the beginning of this live stream if you missed it. I hope that everybody keeps their head on the swivel. I think that as long as it's not the John Wayne TP, well, yeah, and remember, no matter what we are, we can always pray. Yo, yes. I mean, most definitely. We're talking a little bit about gear today, Red Dog, which, I think I've always said this mental and spiritual preparedness is so important, but making the way and doing the things that need to be done is really important too. I hope that you all enjoyed this live stream. I enjoyed hanging out with you today. This is our third live stream today. Go check out the one on OTWP Report. There's some very important information that I put out. I probably would be doing an update. More information is coming in about that situation. And possibly a live stream tonight. Just depends on our time frame. I love you all, and I care about you. I hope that each and every one of you keep doing the things that are important, and most of all that you don't get caught up in the chaos and the nonsense. But when it really boils down to it, right, folks, is we probably are not going to be at home when all shiznick breaks loose. This is Doomsday Prepper. also known as Off the Wall Prepper. If you missed out on the speed news or the slow road news, you may want to watch that. It's here on this channel as well. Um, I hope that yeah, wet wipes are really good too. Dreaded, how's it going, Dreaded? Yeah, God bless you, Red Dog man. Glad to see you. Everyone, stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel. Most of all, do the legwork. We can't be lazy at this time in the game. And as we see more and more things escalate, I think that as preppers, we've all been sitting on eggshells. We've been walking on it. We've been sitting on the edge of the fence like, when's it's going to happen? Things are already happening, and they're going to continue to happen. I think that in 2024, we're going to see the major escalation. Also, people were saying, well, I want to bring up one news thing. And people were talking about, well, I have a credit union, it's safe. I want to inform you that over 60 credit unions just got hacked. 60. Now, that might not seem big to you, but that's 60 from one server. So that is big, folks. So make sure that you're protecting yourself in every aspect. And most of all, it's time to go gray man, gray woman, gray child. Be very alert of your surroundings. Don't be a victim and don't fall victim, y'all. Hey, I showed it before. I showed it before. Look, they're all saying yes. 11111. Oh, mine's down there on the floor. It'll take me forever. Mine's still lightweight though. Mine's still under 15 pounds, I think. Um, huh? Oh yeah, I got big plans for the day. I got big plans. So mine's bigger than Dragonfly's. Mine is like a double. Mine's like a double. No, I ain't putting your stuff away. You got to put your own stuff away. So in I learned from the bushcrafting adventure that I had with y'all. What was that last year? Is that, and I'm really stickly about this. I have a paper map, but inside the paper map, and y'all might remember when I did the water series, what I did with a map is you can see there I made a triangle and I color coded all the water sources in the area that I was traveling for work. So every time, every week I went out for a year and a half, and these are pretty close to our property as well, I would color code the water sources. And the real cool thing about this is it's really important to have a paper map to learn those back roads and stuff like that. But also, I coordinated the water sources if they were really clear and good, or if they were kind of on the crappy list. And I had made myself a little diagram of those. And I think that as you see, you can see all the different ones I marked out. And I also have another paper that shows ones closer to the property. I think that having a paper map is like vital. I think it is vital. Um, Not only for your water sources, but also, right, for those back roads. You get out there, you got a compass, and you're okay with a compass, but having a paper map can get you out of a really crappy situation. So, of course, I have a map in my front pocket. I have a little notebook, and of course, me being who I am, I have the gospel right there on the top with me. Our daily bread. It's a little mini one, and so that's like just right in the very front top pocket. I always carry a Sharpie, like pretty much anywhere I go. That's just this little tiny pocket right here. That's all it is. Um, One of the bigger things that I did is I did totally rearrange my bag. So I have coffee filters. I have the coffee filters because I prefer not to carry a life straw. So I would use these for water filtration. And they're light and they're easy. I have some bandages. These are military grade bandages. They're gauze pads. I believe this, I don't know which one this one is. I don't know if this is Yeah, this is an American one. So I have a package of those. This is just a one. Many people don't believe that these will work, these survival bat blankets, but you have to know how to use them right. And what people where they lack in this skill, this is actually a skill, because people throw it over and they say, "Oh, it don't work." You can actually stand over the top of a small fire and bring the bottom down towards you, or you can just bring the bottom down tight, around your feet, and this thing will heat up really, really quick. I do too. I do too. I really do. I have several of them, and I just ordered some more, so I'll let y'all know when they come in if somebody would need one. Yes, I have a roll of RV toilet paper for the do. I have a little multi-tool. I carry a small one. This is from Cabela's. It's a small one. It's a really good one, though. I like it. Looks like I have something else in here. Oh, and of course, because of the fire person that I am, I also have uh, waterproof spark matches in here. These things, you can blow them out and relight them like 6 times, even in the water, which is really awesome. So I put some of those in there just to have them because I like to have fire. Of course, I have magnesium and some more magnesium. And then I have a very, very small first aid bag. This has gloves, bandages, some triple antibiotic, some Tylenol in case I get a mean headache, Q-tips. One thing I really, really like is these little towels. So I have about a dozen of these in my bag. So you can use these as not only a towel, but you can also use them as to wipe off your face. You can use them as a piece of gauze. Have you all seen these before? You just drop them in water and they expand out. They're about yay big when they expand out. I really, really like these because think about it. I have like a dozen of them, and look how tiny they are. They're about as big as a dime, maybe a little bigger than a dime. Have you all seen these before? Anybody in the chat not seen one of these, like actually get wet and what it looks like? Uh, Sorry to hear that, Harvest Merry Moon. Oh, no, not strep throat. Yeah, these condensed expandable towels are freaking awesome. They rock, Scruffy. Um, has everybody seen one before? Because if not, I'll wet one and show it to you. This is like a really good thing to have. Does anybody? If you hit a one, if you want me to do one, so you can see it, I'll do it right now. Dragonflies, could you get me a glass of water? Georgie would like to see one. I'll do one for you, George. I'll do one. They're really cool. See how tiny. Dragonflies is going to get water. You don't need a lot of water, just a little bit of water, and I'll show you how to do one. Um, I have little tiny things like dragonflies of shampoo. One of my go-to is dental floss. I have dental floss in every bag that I have, get home and my bug out, because it's so important. There's a lot of things, and I love these little compact. This is this is my hygiene kit. This what we're going through. We're going through my hygiene pocket, but this is a really cool little toothbrush. So it's very nice. And the other thing is, at all times, it keeps it clean, right? So just take it. Just take a little bowl of water, drop it in there like so. Oh, okay. Okay, sorry, George, but it's all right. People can still see it. You can see how quickly it expands. Y'all see how quickly it expands and soaks up the water. And that's not a lot of water. That is not a lot of water. The nice thing about these is they're so light. You could carry like a whole dozen with you, right? And then look how quickly it gets. I mean, I just usually leave it in there maybe a minute or so, and then you can just grab it by the one end. The nice thing about these is like if you're out and you don't have towels or something like that, you don't have toilet paper. You could use them for toilet paper. You could also use these to wipe off your face. You could look how big it is. These are cool. This is probably like one of my favorite little prep things that I have. I think that keeping your body clean is going to be really important to most of us. And after a few days of no shower, it might feel really good to take one of these. And as you see, then you pull up, and then you can pull up the other two sides. So you also have an emergency gauze bandage, and you can see how big it turns out to be. So that's really cool. I mean, that's you got a good foot going across and down. And you could use it to wipe your face, clean your hands, whatever it may be, or you could let it dry out and use it as a gauze bandage to clean somebody that's hurt. So there's a lot of good purposes. Oh, that felt good. Yeah. That's just two of my pockets. Um, that's just two of my pockets. I like coffee filters And if you take a couple coffee filters, rocks, some moss, some leaves, and any kind of bottle, you can make yourself a nice water filter as well. You don't have to buy everything, and I really try to get that across to people. In my little pocket, I even have a thing of Tic Tacs. I have a couple pins, things like that. I also, on the outside of my bag, I have a compass. I have a lot. Well, and this, which is really cool, this is made by one of my dear friends that's Native American. This is made out of a deer antler. It's a whistle, and so that's pretty cool. I like the whistle a lot. I have a lot of little things just hanging off, and of course I have plenty of paracord everywhere and anywhere I can because paracord could come in handy for so many things if you get hurt or whatever, right? I'll open up one big pocket. Um, okay, so here's one of the big pockets, right? And I have it set up pretty much how I would use it. One, I have, these are awesome. These are really awesome. I started buying these because they're light, they're thin, they're lightweight, easy to carry. They're activated charcoal packets. So you can use them for water filtration, deodorizing the air. You could also make your own makeshift mask if you needed to do that. What kind of bag is this? Shoot, I don't know what brand it is. I have no idea what brand it is. I found this on My Patriot Supply. The thing I like about it, Mark, if you look right here, see the straps, but then you have the waist strap, and that's what I really like about it. My other one is military grade. This one is not, but it was on My Patriot Supply, and I liked it. I liked the feel of it. So as I get into here, I have some huge emergency blankets. One, I carry extra stuff, folks, because I feel like if I come across somebody and they're freezing to death, I want to help them. It's just, y'all should know that about me. So I carry some extra of those. I do have foot warmers, hand warmers. I do have a life straw in this bag. I thought I didn't. I thought I took it out, but I do. Um, I also carry a couple different things of Ready Hour, soup, oatmeal, things like that. I have a couple bags of those. We are an affiliate. If you go to the main part of the channel, you can find the link if you want to help or if you want to buy some. This is my dry pack, and mine's all full of fire. Of course, it's full of fire. Yeah, this one is full of fire, and this is what I was talking about, that it has that extra seal. You can see it at the top. If you look right here, you folks, can you see that? So when you bend this over, you're getting that extra seal. You got one that pushes together like a Ziploc bag, and then you have this little flap down here. So you want to make sure that you're rolling that up. You would roll it that way so that the Velcro's on the outside, and then bring it on up, and then bring it across, because you want to have that extra oomph to hold stuff in place. So this bag is my fire bag, and I have a ferro rod, dryer lint, lighters, matches, basic stuff like that. I have a bunch of clips and calipers. And then the other thing, what else do I have in here? Oh, I have Coast Guard emergency water. I don't carry a lot of water. I carry 3 bags of this. So I carry 3 of these, and I bought them by the case off of My Patriot Supply too. I bought cases of the emergency drinking water. These are only this is only about 5 ounces. So yeah, I am a firebug. You know that, George. Um, this is probably one of my favorite things. This is what I call my little black box, right? My little black box that I made, and I made this. It has a bunch of important little gadgets and necessities. And this is probably one of the heaviest containers I have in my bag because I wanted to keep my bag under 20 pounds. So when you open it up, there's stuff on this side of it, right? These are your activated charcoal filters, right? There. I have a couple pennies in here, and I'll talk about that on another live stream about why I carry pennies. But I love to have tape with me, so I take the tape off the roll and I roll it super flat, and I have like probably 6 of these with me because you never know. You know, you could bandage yourself with it. You could, if you ripped your shirt or your jacket and you need to stay warmer, you could put it over that. There's a lot of things you can do with a good tape. So, and then this foam just is like a divider. And if you go into the division, you can see, oops, I'm dropping stuff. Um, I got a little multi-tool. This is also a fishing pole. I got a vape stick because I still smoke. I got some aluminum foil. I got a magnifier. Huh? I got a magnifier to start a fire. Um, I got another lighter in here. I got plenty of fire, and what I just dropped out was a grabber, so I have to get that in a minute. But that's just out of one pocket, and then another thing of water. In the big pocket is my shoes, uh, a pair of boxers, an extra shirt, an extra towel, crap like that. That's just to keep me clean, right? And and then of course, my knife, my fixed blade knife, is no longer in my pack because it stays in my vehicle, and I have it in the door so that I could just clip it on my belt. That's a big thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I have zip ties in my bag. The zip ties for a lot of reasons, gear, things like that. Also, zip ties if you really needed to put someone in a chokehold, you can zip tie their ass to something. And it's hard for them to get out. It really is hard for people to get out of zip ties. It's probably they have to be pretty squirmy to get out of this shit. But and then you can see here this whole thing, another whistle and some. These are some latches and stuff and some hooks that I have. This is the compass and that. So this is how I utilize the outside of my bag as well. So we're kind of on point on that. Let me see. I don't think there's anything majorly important. Oh, well, shit. Yes, shit dang. Okay. This is the radio that I really like now. This is the radio that I really like. So Dragonflies has the little one. I got this other one. This is, I don't even know who this is made by. Who's it made by? Vaughn. It's a Vondero. It's a Vondero. You see it? I really freaking like this one. This is made. It's bigger than my hand. Y'all see that? It's bigger. But the other thing is it's way more durable. It's really good. I got wool socks. Um, I also have some heavy duty gloves in here. I have another flashlight in here. This whole top pocket that's like a netting pocket right here. This is just my clothes with extra socks and stuff. And y'all might remember when I had that accident. So I got like 3 pairs of socks, couple shirts, a pair of boxers, things like that, to keep myself clean. Um, then I only have 2 in my get home bag. I have oatmeal and I have stew, right? Oatmeal and stew. And that's how I'm going to live it. If I have to spend a few days out there, that's how I'm going to live it. The other thing that I have in here is this is a cool little flashlight. I got this as a gift from the American Red Cross, and it's a crank. So it's a crank one as well, and it works pretty well. You just crank that bad boy, and you can build it up really quickly where you have light. And you can hang this from inside your tent, inside your canopy, whatever, to keep lights on the subject. One of the big things that I have is this is all first aid. It's all first aid. There's some body wash in here. There's another toothbrush. There's soap. There's gauze bandages. There's a cold compress in case. See, you also have to. If you have a medical problem, right? If you have a medical problem, it's very important that you address your own medical problem and figure out what do you need to be okay, right? Yes, I have Folger instant coffee mixes. Of course, I have a couple bandanas. And what is in this pocket? Yeah, I haven't pulled everything out. Um, I have a rain poncho, another couple more bandanas, and I have some commercial grade trash bags. The commercial grade trash bags I can do a lot with. I can make a pillow. I can make a sleeping quarters. I can protect myself against the elements with a Mylar bag in this. I would be perfectly fine. I could survive for days and days just with that, and that's just the honest truth. Um, the poncho is nice. It's lightweight, and so that's why I have this one. And it's bright, so if you get lost, me being from Colorado, I often think of people getting lost in the forest or somewhere that they are just really not knowing their surroundings, and they have no way to signal somebody. They have no way to get in touch with somebody. Um, I do have one little pocket, but I don't show it, and I won't show it on YouTube. I especially won't show it on YouTube, or it'll get me in trouble. Um, but I think it's really important that we realize what's going on around us, and that we all take the steps. Y'all, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to spend some quality time with Dragonflies. Hopefully, we might have a live stream late tonight between 8 and 9 o'clock. I may be doing another news broadcast. And then tomorrow morning at OTWP Report, we have our morning Monday kind of recap of what's going on around the world, everything from crime to things that we need to be on top of. I hope y'all enjoyed this. God bless y'all from here in the Ozarks to wherever you're at. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're part of the OTWP. I'll see you all later. God bless.